Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So the question is, how do we discourage our teenage children from taking impulsive actions and also saying words they regret later? Have you learned this art yourself, Monica? Monica?
Yes, I'm here.
You completely learned?
Not completely, no, but better than my teenagers for sure.
Teach them. What is the problem?
Sorry?
If you have learned it 30%, teach 30%. If you have learned it 40%, teach it 40%. Whatever native language you speak at home, suppose you speak Telugu, I don't know, I'm just saying. If you speak Telugu, why are you asking me how to teach Telugu to my children? Speak Telugu, they will learn. If you don't speak Telugu, it is good. It is right to ask another person how to teach Telugu to my children. You can go to a tutor. What is the point in making your children learn a language that you are not going to speak to them in the house? So the first responsibility in Vedanta is, what is the nature and quality of parent? That will decide the parenting. Nature and quality of parent will decide parenting. How do we discourage our teenage children from taking impulsive actions and also saying words they regret later? If you have children that say words and regret later, congratulations. They have an intellect. Many times we say words, we perform deeds. We don't even regret. Others are crying because of us. You understand? We don't even know what we have done. We say words, we pass comments, we turn critical, or we turn excited and dejected and perform action. It affects others. We may not know that we have caused that affectation in the other. This could be our state of mind, which can happen to any one of us. Impulse can hold. Impulse is not a virus that holds only age 7 to 20. Even a 90-year-old person can be impulsive. Impulse means a weak intellect. When the muscles are weak, the muscles stare, the muscles give up. Similarly, when the mind is weak and the intellect is not strong, fortified, you find the person becomes impulsive. Impulse means a slippery mind. You understand? A slippery mind is impulsive. The question is how to discourage our teenage children from taking impulsive action. Anything that you discourage will be encouraged. Understand the law of life. You want to discourage something, it will be encouraged in the other person, because whatever is forced is never forceful. The mind creates a curiosity. Therefore, don't try to discourage impulses. Try to encourage the word intellect. Try to encourage the word intellect. How will you encourage the word intellect? You can't encourage the word intellect, endorsing it to others, unless you yourself have fathomed what it means. Unless you have fathomed what it means, those words will not have any vitality in it. You understand? Suppose I am learning from a book. I am referring to journals. I am checking videos of various people and then coming up with all these ideas. These ideas will not have any effect in people who listen. Of all that is spoken, what has effect in people? The life or the energy that comes through the words touches the chord in people. You understand? Whenever anyone speaks, the words that are emitted by the person carry no vitality, they carry no energy. It is only noise. Noise is converted into sound, sound is converted into word, word is converted into relevance, relevance is converted into touching a chord only when there is energy backing it. That energy is called conviction. When a person speaks or lives from conviction, you don't have to ask others to get attracted and follow. It will have its own attraction. Without wanting to attract and influence others, you will be a walking influence to others. This is the truth. When it comes to parenting, there are two things. One is the principle, the other is strategies. The whole world is dealing with strategies. Principle, hardly anyone is interested in. They don't even know that there is a difference between the two. Strategies are derived only from principles. Learning strategies is not going to help unless a person is sound in principles. So the first principle of life to be derived from your question, Monica, is how to discourage. The moment you want to discourage, what happens in your mind is a tremendous sense of anxiety, fear, agitation. That mind will not enjoy parenting. Therefore, don't try to discourage something. Encourage the higher value in it. Vedanta doesn't discourage death. It encourages you to regain the immortal being in you. So the first principle is anything that you dislike and discourage, that you are running away from, chases you faster than you run. This is the law of life. Anything you discourage, anything you are disinterested in, anything that you dislike, anything that you avoid, want to desperately avoid in life, what is happening psychologically is you are sending more and more thoughts towards it. Life does not know the language of encouragement or discouragement. Life knows only the language of thought deposits. Please understand how life functions. Vedanta helps us to understand. Since you are continuously depositing thoughts towards that aspect of life, that aspect will keep chasing you faster than you are running away from it. This is the source of all self-inflicted agony in life. That is why we say, stop brooding about your problems. My son is like this, my husband is like this, my wife is like this, brooding. You are putting the stamp and making it more and more evident upon life. Forget it and move on. Means you can't forget your son, you can't forget your daughter, you can't forget your husband, you can't forget your wife, you can't forget their situations in life. When a guru says forget and move on, what it means is don't deposit any more thoughts towards it. Your thought is giving life and momentum to it. It carries no life or momentum on its own. This is a very, very deeper psychological truth. Wherever anxiety is more, worries will be more. Therefore, Vedanta says, please understand the principle of thought governing life. Do not discourage, try to encourage the opposite. Opposite of impulse is dharma. Opposite of impulse is intellect. In the Vedantic literatures, it is called as dharma. In Swamiji's work, he denotes it by the equipment or instrument with which you can access it, which is the intellect. Strengthen your intellect, strengthen your intellect, strengthen your intellect. We cannot ask children to strengthen their physical bodies when we are a couch potato sitting and eating French fries and drinking all types of things, correct? Children will, the first exhibition and first mirror for children is the environment, and the best environment is the parents. Best in the sense, most influential environment. And they are not even trying to learn. They look and then the imprints are going. They look and then the imprints are going. They see and then the imprints are going. Any one of you, mother or father, wake up early in the morning, whether you shower immediately or not, if you have a mandir, and just come down. You may not believe in God, you may not want to chant any shloka, you may not know any shloka. Especially when your son or daughter wakes up and they come, you just go and stand in front of the deity for a few seconds. Act as though you are Mirabai Shankaracharya. Next day, they won't follow. You understand? Raghu, if you do now, Bhumika will not follow tomorrow. When she comes to the age of 18, 19, 20, and her personality requires a hold in life, she will not pick up a bottle. She will go to the mandir and start closing her eyes. For her to do it at the age of 18 and 20, you have to do the moment she is born. So the second principle of parenting is not about strategies, parenting is about sacrifice. Are we willing to go through the sacrifice to see the difference in them? Any one of us innocently will say, whole life I have worked hard. This is the time I can enjoy. This is the time I can enjoy. It's only between 30 and 50 I can enjoy. 30 and 50 I can enjoy. But it is only between 30 and 50 you can sacrifice. It is only between 30 and 50 you can build your character. After 50, we are booking funeral homes. After 50, we are only thinking about packing our bags next Janma. Before 30, that you may think very rebellious, you may think very free, you may think very independent, but you don't have any resources to think. 30 to 50 is the vital time. Okay, in this country, we say 60, 65, extended by 10 more years. 50 means hardly anyone will be qualified. So that is the age where a person has the energy to do without, to make the sacrifices and make oneself an exhibition for the youngsters, for the boys and girls, for the children at home. But unfortunately, that is the age at which our own impulses and our own demands and desires are the highest. So don't try to discourage impulses, try to encourage the intellect. Encourage genuine identification and dhanam. Even if they don't learn dhanam, the punya that you bring from dhanam will take care of them, will save them from negative environments. This is the truth. You can't pass on your wealth. You can write a will and pass on. But if it does not inherited with punya backing it, that wealth will be of no use in their hands. Earn some punyam also before you pass on that wealth. So identification and dhanam. First principle is be free from dissuading, discouraging, which creates anxiety, fear. Second principle is, are you willing to live a life which will become an exhibition for them to get inspired, which will require sacrifices? That doesn't mean if you live a sacrificial life, your children will become sacrificial. That is the best chance that you have. There is no guarantee that if you live a sacrificial life, they will also follow you. But that is the best that you can do. This is the principle. Strategies don't work. That is what Abraham Lincoln says. There is but one way to bring up a child in the way he should go, and that is to travel it yourself. Abraham Lincoln, he says, there's only one way to bring up children. That is for you to travel that way yourself. Does that mean it is a guarantee? There is no guarantee in it. Because they come with their own vasanas. They come with their own punya papa. Parents could be emotional and impulsive. Children could be very responsible. That is also possible. But when you are asking the question, what is that I should do to see a particular effect in my children? When parents ask, the strategies are not discussed, the principles are discussed. These are the principles on which relationship is founded. In Vedanta Treatise, our Guru, Swamiji says, your home should be the center of love and affection, not its boundary. Your home should be the center of love and affection, not its boundary. If you live a life like that, that punya will save them. This is unseen. This is the unseen advantage. The seen advantage is they will also be blossoming with that type of identification. My room, my car, my time, my television time, my private space. If parents speak this language, children will speak the same language. So whatever is the language, vocabulary, which makes the lifestyle in parents, children seem to be inheriting it. So the environmental influence, what is called as Mahat in Sanskrit, is a very great influence. Mahat, environmental influence. Environment outside we cannot control. Canada has a particular environment. United States has a particular environment. India has a particular environment. Sri Lanka has a particular environment. Saudi Arabia has a particular environment. If you are in that country, you can't change that environment. You understand? It can be changed, but you don't have, we may not have what it takes to change that environment. It takes a Nelson Mandela. It takes a Martin Luther King. It takes a Mahatma Gandhi. Everyone is not. We can't change that environment, but you can change your environment. Your house need not be a resultant of environmental influence of Canada. Your house need not be a resultant of environmental influence of Saudi Arabia. Your personal space need not be environment influence of Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or India. Your personal space can be an environment influence of your intellect. If your personal space, the womb in which your children are growing, is a result of impulsive environment, they are drinking that milk. They are drinking the milk of impulse. They will be growing impulsively. Inconsistent parenting, they will be growing bipolar. You understand? I'm not cursing. This is the truth. Parents are inconsistent. Parents are fighting all the time. There will be hostilities sown in the mind of children. It may not happen the next very day, but the seeds are sown. It fructifies. So he says, let the home be the center of love and affection, not its boundary. Put these two quotations together. First quotation is talking about the responsibility. It is your responsibility to lead the way in which you want them to walk. Okay, I will do it for the next 2 years. Would that mean that they will follow? No, don't ask for any guarantee. Don't ask for any guarantee. A person who eats junk food lives till 85, 90 years without going through a bypass. A person who eats the right type of food and exercises every day has a double bypass by the time he is 55. Can you conclude eating junk food will make you live till 85 years? You understand? What is appropriate to do in life? What is not appropriate to do in life? You use your intellect to determine. Don't look for results. It will redeem at least one person, which is you. Forget the children. This style is sure to redeem one person, which is you. If not your biological children, someone will be inspired and learning from you. Definitely someone will learn from you. You will be an influence. So the quality of parenting depends upon the quality of mind and intellect in the parents. Objective parenting is what Vedanta recommends. You can't be an objective parent when you are an involved husband or wife. You understand, Monica? I don't mean you in particular. This is for all of us. I can't be an objective father and a bipolar husband. That is not possible. I don't have children, but I'm just giving as an example. All the children that are studying are my children. Devoted son, but a divorcing husband. This type of a disparity is happening because on profiles, we seem to be functioning through good emotions. On certain other profiles, we seem to be functioning through impulses. I am a very devoted son to my mother. But when objectivity, which is your intellect governing your mind, has become a personality trait, you'll be an objective father, you'll be an objective mother, you'll be an objective parent. you will be an objective partner, you will be an objective son or daughter, you will be an objective employee, you will be an objective citizen, and you will be objective in your life. Objectivity is like blood group. Your blood group is the same whether you are playing sports or performing music or sleeping, lying down. Your blood group doesn't change, correct? Similarly, objectivity is a feature relating to the personality. We seem to be having some objectivity in profiles because of some incidental reasons. Very objective at work. But what we do at work, that type of a quality we are not able to transfer into our life. So there is no transference of what is done at work into home. That is because the intellect is not doing it. Out of necessity to earn a living, we are doing something. You understand? This is how we learn Vedanta. Vedanta is not about verses. Verses we can learn very easily. Books will teach us. But the eyes should be open to look at how to learn Vedanta. The transference will not be there. So when the transference is there, when that intellectual balance is there, you will be objective parent, you will be objective partner, you will be objective employee, you will be objective to very life. So that objective parenting is what Vedanta trains a person to become. And objective parenting is not possible unless objectivity has become your very nature. Objectivity has to be your very nature, which means the intellect has to be guiding the mind. Until the intellect is empowered and guides the mind, Khalil Gibran gives certain techniques. Now, strategies or techniques. These are not strategies or techniques. He's just giving certain philosophical insights into parenting in specific, which is what Vedanta is talking about. But he puts it in words that anyone can very easily understand. Khalil Gibran.
Khalil Gibran on children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself."
Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. This is called objectivity. The moment the child exits the womb, the fetus exits the womb, my child, the stamp is put on the child. Khalil Gibran says, no doubt you can say that they are your children, but they are not your children. Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. What is this life's longing for itself? In Vedanta, it is called as they come with their own vasanas. Life is longing in them for some manifestation. What is that manifestation? Vasanas. They have vasanas. They have punyam and papam to be exhausted, to be experienced, carried from the previous birth, from the past. And this punyam and papam, merit or sin, cannot be experienced. They cannot be exhausted unless there is a body. You made that body and gave it to the jiva. Having born, you say, this child is a Hindu, this child is a Muslim, this child is a Christian, this child is a Brahmana, this child is a Vaishya, this child is a Kshatriya, this child is a Shudra. You attribute qualities to it. But Khalil Gibran says, look at it organically. Don't look at it personally, please. The moment you look at it personally, you say, Hindu child. From the age of 7, I will start teaching Vedanta to the child. You look at it personally, you say, this is a Muslim child. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these things. This is a Christian child. Baptism I have to do. I am an atheist. My child will be an atheist. Atheist, what religion will he attribute to the child? He will make the child an atheist. You understand? So when you look at it personally, you make it an object that is subservient to you. Objectivity is lost. We will start manipulating with a remote control, which is our mind. The child becomes a helpless slave in the hands of parents because of personalizing. And all of us are a victim of this trait. If we don't have this knowledge, we are a victim of this trait. Don't even suspect for a second that you may be free from it. If you have not had this knowledge, we will only look at it personally. The child born, will you say, first child born to me is Hindu, second child born Christian? No, we are going to say, my child is a Hindu, my child is a Christian, my child is a Buddhist, my child is a Jaina, my child is a theist, my child is a atheist, my child is a capitalist, my child will be an entrepreneur, my child will be a doctor, my child will be a lawyer, my child will not go to Vedanta Academy. Other children can go study and take classes. My child will not go. You understand? We impose our thoughts upon that entity, for which Khalil Gibran is saying, your children are not your children. Please don't treat them like your wristwatch, your computer, your car. These are objects. You can possess them, but you can't possess your children. Please don't have this possessiveness towards them, because they come with a life's longing for itself. The best way to understand this is, don't think about yourself as a parent and your children as the product. Don't think of that relationship. Think of the previous or the past relationship. Your parents and you, what was your mind? Whatever your parents wanted you to do, how did your mind function? It is the same way the children's mind is going to function. We want freedom. We want to do our own activities. We want to do our own things. We have our own desires and passions. That's what he's saying. They are sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They have come with their own baggage. Please recognize it. Next.
They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you.
Explained already. They come through you. Life has a particular mechanism to execute in this world. For that, you are an instrument. Nature cannot create a human being out of thin air. It can only create through the union of a man and woman. Therefore, you are required for nature to create another body and deliver it to the world, so that a jiva can enter there and experience. You understand? It is like a real estate person. He buys 100 acres of ground and starts building 200 houses in it. All 200 houses is not for him. He is building it so that people can buy, enter that house and start living. So all parents are real estate agents. You are building bodies, that's all, for jivas to come. Please understand that. But if you keep possessing, saying it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, Khalil Gibran says, they don't come through you. Sorry, they don't come from you, they come through you. You understand? From you means you are the originator, you are the origin, you are the creator. That is wrong. You are not the creator of your children. You are only the passage through which they are manifesting. They already exist. Your son existed before you delivered. Your daughter existed before you delivered her out of womb. Where did she exist? She existed as the jiva, the life potential. Maybe it was that jiva was claimed as my son, my daughter by some other parent. So open that window and see the entire spectrum. It becomes clear. They come through you, but not to you. Though they are with you, they do not belong to you. My computer is with me. It belongs to me. My wristwatch is with me. It belongs to me. My table is with me. It belongs to me. My house is with me. It belongs to me. My son is with me. He belongs to me. No. Khalil Gibran says no. Because the table, the house, the wristwatch, the computer has nothing called as mind and intellect of its own. Your children carry the mind and intellect of their own. You cannot program that mind and intellect because they have come with a particular program already. They have come with a program. So the first duty or obligation in parenting is to decode what is the program with which this jiva has entered this body and come to me. This process is called as education. Education means to draw out and recognize the gunas in them. This is a sattvic child. This is a rajasic child. This is a tamasic child. Therefore, let me nourish an environment in which the person can grow out of tamas. Let me provide an environment where sattvic inclinations can grow. This is your duty. Your duty is like a gardener. You don't go to the garden and say, why rose plants? Why not jasmine? That is not your job. Rose plant has been planted. Your job is to see how it can be nourished to become a better rose plant. Your job is not to expect a jasmine shoot out of the rose. So they are with you, but they do not belong to you. Very difficult to swallow this truth. They don't belong to you because you don't belong to your parents. They did not belong to their parents. Identification can be there, but that possessiveness cannot be there. Belong here means possessiveness. Don't possess them like objects because objects carry no mind of its own. People carry mind of their own. Next.
You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts.
They have their own thoughts. As long as they are not asking you to follow your thoughts, be happy. Their thoughts, be happy. You may give them your love. Your love means your sense of identification, your sense of belongingness. Nourish them with emotions, with subtle emotions and love. By love, he doesn't mean attachment. The moment you want to trade love for subscribing to your thoughts, it is called as attachment. Very carefully understand, please. Love means unconditional expression of emotion. Attachment means I love you. Underneath, something is written so minute. Monica? Asterisk, conditions apply. You understand? I love you. Parent tells the child. Underneath, there is something minutely written. What is minutely written? I love you. Conditions apply. Provided you listen to me, provided you obey me, provided you align with my thoughts, provided you allow me to discourage something and encourage something else. So Khalil Gibran says, your duty is to love. Your duty is not to inflict thoughts and bargain it for love. I have done so much for you. Why don't you listen to me? I am your parent. Of all the people, who else will wish good for you? Don't mix the two, he says. Never bargain love for thoughts. Have a chat with them. Brainstorm. Educate them with thoughts, but don't connect it to love. You understand? Worst is, we may not be doing anyone here, but we hear all the time. If you don't listen to me and obey me, you will never see me again in life. Opposite of love is aversion. Opposite of attachment is aversion. You understand? So he says, you may give them your love, means your emotions, fondness, affection, but not your thoughts. Don't try to impose your thoughts upon them, for they have their own thoughts. Their mind space is already filled. They have come with the content. There is no room for us to impose thoughts in them. It is like asking a rose to be a jasmine. You can pick up a jasmine spray and spray in all the roses in the garden. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, it will all smell like jasmine. After a wind comes and takes the jasmine fragrance, what will there be? Jasmine or rose? That's all. You can sit and talk and talk and talk and talk. After the wind comes and takes it away, jasmine goes and rose only exists. If you understand that, you will stop spraying all this. You understand? You will not spray anything. You will accept things as they are. Next.
You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams.
You may house their bodies, but not their souls. I have brought you up. When I grew up, my father did not even give me a room. There was no study table, no chair. Books also I had to share with my friends. I am giving everything to you. Even a Tesla car, I am giving you to drive to university. I am giving you everything. For which Khalil Gibran says, you may house their bodies. You may provide food, you may provide insurance, you may provide a credit card, you may give a place for them to live, you may buy mattresses, pillow, everything. Smart watch also. But please give them a smart father, smart mother. Smart watch is not enough for them. How do you give them a smart father or smart mother? By understanding that you cannot house their souls. You can only house their bodies. Because their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, means they have a full life to live. They have their dreams. They have their aspirations. They have their ambitions. The seed is already programmed to grow into a particular sapling, into a particular type of plant, into a particular type of tree, and then yield fruits. You understand that? Mango seed that is there in your hand. A mango groove is already seen in that. It is embedded in that, but we may not see it. It's not visible to our eyes. With reference to the mango seed, you have no problem. With reference to a tiger cub, there is no problem. Just because you are bringing the tiger cub in a Jaina household, it will not have curd rice and pickle. The tiger cub, after the canine grows and starts tasting blood, you will see the tiger coming out of it. You will see the lion cub becoming a lion. Similarly, there is a seed in every being that is created. That seed is called Vasana. This Vasana is destined to grow into a particular dimension and direction in future. Therefore, you cannot even know what they are destined to grow and blossom into. Not even in your dreams. Please understand that. Khalil Gibran is not saying don't do anything. He is only saying understand the background in which life happens. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. Their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. Is there any way Usain Bolt's mother would have known that her son will clock 100 meters in 9 seconds? 9.4 seconds. Is there any way Mahatma Gandhi's father and mother would have programmed and planned and ambitioned that my son will get freedom for this country? Is there any way Nelson Mandela's father and mother dreamt in the wildest of their dreams that he will liberate South Africa? You understand? Anyway, Steve Jobs' mother could have planned, programmed, and dreamt that he will create an Apple Corporation. No way. Even in nightmares, it cannot happen. That's what he's saying. You don't know the possibility with which they are coming. Let it blossom. Watch it blossoming. Nourish it blossoming. Next.
You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday.
They are futuristic. Their eyes are on tomorrow. Our eyes are on past. You know how we were with our parents? Khalil Gibran says, no, don't go backwards. The life doesn't go backwards. Life goes forwards. Don't expect them to be like you. Where it is possible and practical, learn from them. If you are expecting them to learn from you, have you considered learning from them? He says, why can't your eyes be open to see what you could learn from them? One of the children, last week I met one of the youngsters who's studying in the university now. She used to attend classes. I met her over last weekend. My mother was saying she went to a thrifty store and got a jacket. And the daughter is saying, what is wrong with it? I don't need to spend $80, $100 over a new jacket. This is almost like brand new. Can you believe this jacket is only $7? She said. If it was my size, I would have taken that. It is not, unfortunately, it was not of my size. She's studying in Waterloo. She said, what's wrong with this jacket? You look at it, she's sure. It's spectacular. It looks like actually bought from a showroom. I never thought I could buy clothes from thrifty store. Thrifty, right, Raghu? You know that. Diwali shopping, thrifty for Bhumika. No, our mind will not allow. Thrifty stores? I may go and give my clothes to thrifties, but I will not buy that for my child. Why we won't buy that for our child or for our family members? Because of the weakness. They should not use old clothes. But this child is saying it is not old clothes. It looks brand new. What is wrong with it? So they are futuristic. They think differently. Where it is possible, why don't you pick up that value? Why are you expecting them to toe your line? Asks Khalil Gibran. Next.
You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far.
You are the bows from which your children are the living arrows sent forth. You understand? The bow has to be so strong because it is the launch pad. Stronger and better founded the bow is, the arrow can be launched from the bow and it shoots a great direction. If the bow is weak, the moment you set an arrow and pull the string, the first thing that breaks is the bow itself. So don't be a breaking bow parent, be a strong launch pad bow parent, he says. Launch them in such a way that they can shoot through the path of infinite. Don't be an attached, anxious parent where the moment the arrow is set to the bow keeps breaking, the bow keeps crying, the bow keeps bending. The archer sees the mark upon the path of infinite. Archer is the life. If you are comfortable, you can say God. Archer is the divinity, the divine plan. Sees the mark upon the path of infinite. Means it has set the infinite as the direction for all jivas, including you. Understand that the child is born to reach that infinite, not to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer. That anyway it will become. But understand that infinite direction. That is the greatest favor that you do to children. The archer sees the mark upon the path of infinite and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. You understand? Sometimes the archer bends the bow to test its strength so that he can set a very strong, powerful arrow that will shoot sharp into the target. Don't think the archer hates you. The archer is trying to bend you to ensure that you are strong. Next.
Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable.
This is called compassion. Compassion of these great masters is they are never one-sided. You understand? Till now, it seems as though Khalil Gibran is talking only in favor of children and parents are all useless. Last line, he sets the balance with just one word. You understand? Last line, he says, let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. What is that gladness? They are shooting towards their ultimate destination in life, which is reaching and recognizing the infinite potential. Gladness in parenting comes through objectivity, not through anxiety. If we understand the lines that Khalil Gibran has proposed so far, you will be a glad human being. From that gladness will come anxiety-free, glad parenting. You understand? A worried human being cannot be a happy parent. An involved and attached human being cannot be an objective glad parent. So make gladness your blood group. Follow these principles. Gain that objectivity. Make gladness your nature. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, divinity loves that arrow that it flies. What is it? The freshness of life you see in the children. They are free from worries and anxieties. They are free from complexes. They are free from at least mortgages and credit card balances. They just go on spending and spending as though it is nobody's money. What a fresh energy they have. So he says, appreciate that. The archer loves the arrow that flies. How will the arrow fly? Only if the bow is strong. Same time, he loves the bow that is stable. He not only loves the child that comes with freshness, he also loves the bow, which is the parent that is stable. Stability in children comes from stability in parents. This is what Khalil Gibran is saying. Understand? iPhone comes with an instruction manual. When you go to a restaurant, it comes with a menu. With your smartphone, you access the grid. Immediately, the menu opens up. Same way, every child in its back, they should put that, what is it? QR code. Elon Musk, if we say, he will do that. Every child in its back, in the flesh, there should be a QR code. So the moment child comes out of the fetus, turn it around and access with your phone. The QR code should open Khalil Gibran's 8 stanzas. Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of life longing for itself. You understand? In hospitals where technology is not developed, when the child is delivered and given to the parents, they should put that paper underneath and give. What is this paper? This is the instruction manual to operate this entity called child. Then there will be no problem. When I said that, actually Swarna did it. One of our friends delivered a child here, Ryerson, and they were studying. The girl got married. And I think in Credit Valley or somewhere, since we are nearby, she called and said, we are taking home the child. Would you like to come and see? She said, I'm going to see Bhumika. They're collecting their son and baby and going home. And then she printed something fast and took. I said, Swarna, what are you printing and taking? She said, Khalil Gibran. So she actually put it under the cloth on which the baby was wrapped. She put in that paper and gave it and said, instruction manual to operate. Understand? So don't take all useless roses, Costco card and all that. Take a printout of Khalil Gibran. It can save the child's life. Right, Monica? This is a subject that is very favorite to my group. Therefore, it is favorite to me as well. I could have answered it in one line. Share this Khalil Gibran with all your friends who are parents carrying children of the same age. If possible, tell them what it means, or else they will not they may not understand. Then the question is how to discourage teenage children from impulsive action. Encourage the intellect. That was the answer. In the Gita, he says, Yadyad acharati sreshtaha tattat eva itara janaha. Sayat pramanam kurte lokas tadanu vartate. Outstanding verse. Whoever speaks Bhagavad Gita, whoever speaks Hindi should memorize this verse. And if you have a child, forget your name, memorize this verse. What is your name? Don't say Raghu Kota. What is your name? Yadyat acharati sreshtaha tattat eva itara janaha. Sayat pramanam kurte lokas tadanu vartate. Whatsoever the superior does, that alone other people do. Whatever standards he sets, the world emulates and follows. This is valid for a leader. This is valid for a parent. More so for a parent, it is valid because you can't control the world, but you can show the path, the way to your children. It won't be by talking and discoursing. It will be by living that life. Now, how to control the impulse? That is the verse that we are studying. We were in verse 23. 23rd verse, he says, he who is able to withstand here, even before liberation from the body, the force arising from desire and anger, he is a yogi. He is a happy man. You can connect it to parenting also. There is a force arising from desire and anger in every human being. Who is a parent, who is a son, who is a daughter, who is an employee, who is a father, who is a mother. Kama, Krodha, Udbhavam, Vegam. Beautiful phrase it is. Kama, Krodha means desire, anger. Udbhavam means originating from, shooting out of, springing forth. Kama, Krodha, Udbhavam, Vegam. That force, that velocity that comes from Kamam and Krodham. Kamam means desire. Desire in this context means what you like. What you like creates attachment in the mind. Krodham means anger. Anger comes from meeting what you dislike. Anger is a state of aversion. You understand? You decode the verse like this. Then you will know how to practice it. There's nothing to practice in Vedanta. Vedanta is about awareness and understanding. If you are well aware and you have understood it, practice will happen. If practice is not happening, you are not aware, you have not understood. That's simple. So you can't say, I have understood it, but I am not able to practice it. That only means that we believe we have understood, we have not understood. How to understand it? By decoding it. Kamam means desire. Desire comes from liking something, and that creates attachment. You get attached to it. Krodham means anger. Anger comes from dislike. Dislike creates aversion, hatred, animosity, friction, undercurrent, resistance. You understand? So there is tremendous force coming from Kamam and Krodham. The one who is able to harness the mind from getting influenced by that force, you do not come under that spell of that force. You do not come under the influence of that force. that person, sa yukta sa sukhi naraha. That person is united. That person is evolving. That person is stable. That person is sukhi. Sukhi means peaceful, happy. Peaceful and happy within. The person is free from disharmony outside. The person is able to relate with environment around. What is this Vegam? Vegam has to be understood. We use the phrase fit of rage. Have you not heard? In a fit of rage, he gave one punch. What happened to the other person? The punch landed on the temple. On the spot, the person died. Punch landed on the nose bridge. The punch landed on the temple. On the spot, the person died. Have you not heard all this happening? Accidental death it is actually. But where is that force coming from? The force is coming from krodham, anger. Kamam, force. Desire has force. Attachment has force. Aversion has force. A positive example is in Orissa. This is a real life incident that happened last year. In Orissa, in the village, a villager mother was cleaning rice sitting outside her hut. She was cleaning rice, whatever grain it be, she was cleaning it to prepare food. And then her child baby was sitting next to her and playing. The child was crawling in and around and she was playing. Summertime, a tiger came and picked up the child. Real life incident. Because of not having adequate water in the hot summer, these wild animals come into the villages. If there is a calf, if there is a sheep, if there's an animal, they pick up and go. And the easiest prey is a human being. Because we don't know how to fight nature. At least a sheep or a goat or a buffalo, bison, it fights, it sustains, but we don't even know how to fight. So it came and picked up the child. This lady dropped that plate of rice that she was cleaning, ran into the woods, ran behind the tiger. Can you believe she ran behind the tiger, handled it head on, fought with the tiger, rescued her baby and came. And the photo comes with all the marks fighting with the tiger. The moment she started fighting, the tiger left. Real life story this is. When you are sitting and watching Salman Khan movie, if a tiger comes and takes the French fries from your hand, will you go and fight? You understand what I'm asking? The same mother, will she go and fight the tiger? Husband is coming and taking. She will invite the tiger. She will put some masala on the husband. I'll give you a massage so that the tiger can come and take. So where is that coming from? It is the Vegam is coming from Kamam. It is coming from the desire. There is a force and velocity that is generated out of desire and anger. A person who is able to keep that force under control, the desperateness it creates, if you are able to control, you are a happy person. So the verse is saying, don't even think about getting rid of the desire. That is all high level. Don't think about exhausting the vasana. Don't come under the influence of that pressure. That is enough. What he is talking about is impulse restraint. The capacity to restrain the impulses. Monica's question is, how can we dissuade our children from being impulsive? The strategies are, which we can follow. The moment there is an email or a text message, the impulse in us replies. You understand? Impulse in us replies. Create the reply and put it in draft for 6 hours, 7 hours. Don't reply immediately. If it is a mail that doesn't require answer immediately, don't reply instantly. Put it in draft. Next day morning, wake up and read it. You yourself will correct it in such a way. The person who replied instantaneously and the person who replies after 6 hours, that is Buddhu, this is Buddha. Words will be different, language will be different, the severity with which you confront the situation will be different, the objectivity will be more, because the moment you receive something, immediately the impulse says, reply, shoot it back, put that person in place. The mind is operating. Whatever you want to say, reply, put it in the draft. Don't send it. 3-4 hours later, don't keep thinking about it. 3-4 hours later, or next day morning, open that mail, open that message and read it. You will say, what a stupid reply. You will delete and rephrase it. That rephrasing comes from the intellect. You understand? This is called impulse control. And all the technology is only helping us to become more and more impulsive. We are quick, we are fast, we are smarter, but we are not more prudent than the past generation. At least time helped them. They did not have to respond quickly. My father closed the bank door on Friday evening. He did not think about the bank till Monday morning. Now on the palm you see, even if you come here, on the palm you see, my wife is going out of the house. I think she is going for shopping. How do you know? Camera I have, app on the phone. I don't know why she is wearing that t-shirt. I told her not to wear. Punch the phone. You can't even wear the right t-shirt. I told you not to wear that. I am going to see the lawyer, not for groceries. Enough with you. You understand? 15, 20 years before, we didn't have that possibility. Where is she gone? When she will return, you didn't know. So you could not be impulsive. Now technology is not making our life faster and better. It is also giving the possibility of being so impulsive. So unless the person understands intellectually how speed should not become impulse, speed should be in your favor. It should not work against you. We will be drawn by that force, impulse. So switch from a reacting mind to a responding intellect. Kabira says, Kal kare to aaj kare to ab. This is good for sacrifice, charity, giving. When it comes to the opposite, selfish, self-centered desires, follow the opposite of what Kabira said. Ab kare to aaj kare to kal kare to kabhi nahi. Never do it. Understand? This is for impulses. Just reverse Kabira. If Kabira saw impulsive people, he would have said that. Just that he was not around impulsive people, therefore he didn't say that. So temperament means from uncontrolled rajas to controlled rajas, from controlled rajas to sattva. This is called building the temperament. From uncontrolled rajas to controlled rajas, from controlled rajas to sattva. Kamam, krodam, he says. Krodam means modification of a desire. There are several modifications of desires. Krodam is anger. Bhayam is fear. Lobham is greed. Moham is delusion. Matam is pride. Matsaryam is jealousy. There are 6 enemies. All these 6 come from Kama. Kamam is the root. Desire is the root. Desire modifies under a particular situation into krodam, anger. Desire modifies into fear, bhayam. Desire modifies into lobham, greed. Desire modifies into delusion. Desire modifies into pride. Desire modifies into envy or jealousy. And all these negative emotions come with enormous vega, velocity, force. As you gain this knowledge and develop your intellect, kamam, krodam, bhayam, lobham will not disappear. You understand, Benny? They don't disappear. We are attending for years together. Kamam has not disappeared. Desire has not disappeared. Krodam has not disappeared. Anger has not disappeared. It's already 10:07. He's going on speaking. Anger will not disappear. Bhayam will not disappear. Yo, I'll miss my next appointment. Bhayam will not disappear. Lobham, greed will not disappear. We are greedy. These things will not disappear. What will happen with knowledge to start with is intensity with which they are gripping you will decrease. The frequency with which they are polluting your peace of mind will decrease. Previously, kamam, which modified as krodam, anger, left you. But immediately bhayam, fear is holding you. Bhayam left you, greed is holding you. Now you are able to enjoy a week to 10 days without any of these negative emotions impacting your mind. And then something happens beyond your capacity. You're affected. So the intensity with which they used to affect you has decreased. The frequency with which they pollute the quality of life, mind, and peace is becoming wider, is expanding. And then your recovery rate is faster. What is recovery? You are moved out for 1 full week. Now you are mood out only for one day. Next day when you wake up, it is a fresh day. And then comes a time when the mood out is only half a day. After lunch, your mood is perfectly all right. Then the mood out is only for 1 hour. Then the mood out is only for a few seconds after the incident. Then the mood out is only during the incident. Then the mood out is never, because before the incident, you have understood this trigger is waiting in this party. This trigger is waiting in this gathering. This trigger of vulnerability is waiting in this meeting. And you empower your intellect to absorb that pressure. If you can plan out your life like this, Sayukta Sasuki Naraka. Don't look for Sukham outside your mind. Atma Buddhi Prasadam, he says. Sukham Atma Buddhi Prasadam. It is a blessing born of your own intellect. It is not a blessing born out of things around you that you can acquire.
Vedanta Canada is inspired by the vision and works of Swami Parthasarathi. Swamiji has authored 12 books, of which 4 are considered essential to begin the pursuit of Vedanta. The Fall of Human Intellect. It's a fundamental composition on the workings of mind and intellect. It depicts the consequences of an overpowering mind and a weak intellect. This book gives direction on developing intellect both in short term and long term. Governing business and relationships. This book focuses on techniques to employ your intellect at work and at home. The book covers themes such as stress management, time management, work ethics, value systems, and explains the vital role of intellect in integrating success and peace without compromising one for the other. The Holocaust of Attachment differentiates true love from attachment. It traces how indiscriminate attachment retards both material and spiritual progress. The Eternities Vedanta Treatise. The treatise is acclaimed as the ultimate composition of Vedanta. It contains the digest of knowledge from the Vedas, the Upanishads, and references from a wide range of Western literature. The treatise expounds the wisdom of Vedanta in contemporary thought and language. Complete works of Swami Parthasarathi, which has all the 12 books in collector's edition. For new attendees to begin your pursuit of Vedanta, following e-courses are available. Wellness Vedanta is an 8-session comprehensive beginners program on Vedanta. This e-course is designed to introduce the fundamentals of Vedanta in a sequential order. The e-course is based on the 4 introductory books. It provides a bird's eye view of Vedanta and bridges new members to merge into the Gita weekly study easily. Youth in Focus, a specially designed e-course for teens and youth to learn and imbibe Vedanta in their daily life. Youngsters from grade 9 can do this course. Weekly study program on the Bhagavad Gita is available on Thursdays and Sundays. The Sunday Gita class program is a sequential in-depth learning module. The Wellness Vedanta is designed to serve as a bridge course to step into the Sunday study. Currently, all these programs are offered over Zoom e-classroom with an in-person session like this once every 8 weeks. Annual residential retreats. The foundation hosts 2 residential retreats every year. Aranyaka Upanishad retreat is hosted during the Victoria Day weekend. Upasana, the retreat covering excerpts from Bhagavad Gita and other preliminary texts, is scheduled every Thanksgiving weekend. The most awaited first batch of Satsanga We Kids shall be launched for children in grade 5 to 8. All the above events are open for registration on our website vedantacanada.org.